Good morning, Rabotai, Shavua Tov, and Chodesh Tov B'Siman Tov. Monday, the first day of Shevat, corresponding to the 7th day of January 2019. Today, breakfast and class, graciously sponsored by Mr. Efi Ozan and family, Le'ilui Nishmat, Natali Simcha, Bad Audrey Hana, Aliyah Shalom. Thank you, Mr. Ozan, for your generosity and kindness. Iratzon that through the words of Torah and Berachot will be an Le'ilui Neshama. Before we begin with the regular class of the day, while you enjoy the special breakfast in honor of Rosh Chodesh, we'd like to speak about the month of Shevat. We know, and that usually when it comes to the month of the year, we always begin the month by quoting the Moed Kol Hai, Rabbi Chaim Palachi, that talks about the beauty of this month. And it says, there are two Tzaddikim connected to the month of Shevat. Number one, Aharon HaKohen, and number two, Yosef HaSaddik. The question is, what's the connection? Why specifically these two Tzaddikim connect themselves to the month of Shevat? So if we think for a moment, as he writes and it says, Dehem Yemei HaShobavim. Shobavim is a word that you heard me mention it several times in the past 3 weeks, and I still have 5 more weeks to speak about it. Shobavim Tat in this year is actually a Rashi Tevot, an acronym of the weeks of the Torah portions of these weeks. Shobavim stands for Shemot, Va'era, Bo, Beshalach, Mishpatim, Mechila, Itro, Mishpatim, Terumah, Tesaveh. 8 weeks of the Jewish calendar that Am Israel are given the opportunity and the zechut to remedy avonot, sins or transgressions committed by the lack of personal holiness. Personal holiness, what I'm referring to, refers to the topic of Pegam Berit, Taharat HaMishpacha, family purity, how holy the person behaves on a private level with his Berit Milah. And who is the master of this lesson? The one and only Yosef HaSaddik. Because this is the reason why Yosef HaSaddik has the merit of being called Saddik. And since we are in the 3rd week of the Shobavim, we still have 5 more weeks. So we have a whole month to spend time together with Yosef HaSaddik, to take advantage of this gift that we have. And Be'ezat Hashem, later on, maybe a week, a month from today, we're going to be doing something called Tikkun HaShobavim. We're going to make a special prayer with shofar, with a kafot, with special tefillot, to atone for sins of immorality that we may have done throughout our life. And immorality, I need to clarify for a moment, it doesn't mean, God forbid, only forbidden relations. That's called zenut. That's called promiscuity. Immorality includes when, God forbid, there is no family purity between husband and wife, Haz v'Shalom, or when the man misbehaves on a personal level with his Berit Milah, etc. So, Be'ezat Hashem, the date of that tikkun will be Sunday afternoon, February 10th. Just prepare yourself mentally, and as we get closer, we are going to announce the Kahal Kadosh to come and to participate. That is Yosef HaSaddik. Aharon HaKohen. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avot tells us the famous Mishnah right in the beginning of the 1st chapter. Hillel Omer, Heve mitalmidav shel Aharon. Hillel said, a person must imitate the students of Aharon HaKohen. Ohev Shalom, Berodev Shalom, the Mishnah says. Love the peace and pursue the peace. But I like to read what Rabbi Chaim Palachi writes, and then with your permission, I'd like to expand. If we can pave the way. Thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen. You guys sit there, beautiful. Let him go behind you. Thank you so much. Hazao Baruch. You can fulfill the mitzvah of the Torah that says, Mipene Sevatakum, right? When an elderly person comes into the room, you stand up. Also for you, you're the Kohen Gadol. Don't forget that. And he's a Levi, so it's a good team. Zaken, Kohen Gadol. So the question is, why do we give also emphasis in the topic of Aharon? I understand Yosef. Yosef is personal holiness. What about Aharon HaKohen? So it says, Rabbi Chaim Palachi, the following. Amen. I'd like to read it. Mehilat. Knock on the door. Oh, justice, please. Urgent. Thank you. Rabbi Chaim Palachi says as follows. In this month of Shevat, Sarich leitames yoter. A person must make a greater effort. Liot ohev shalom, berodev shalom, to love the peace and pursue the peace. Umesim shalom ben adam lahavero ubanish leishto, and establish peace and harmony between people and friends. Uben ish leishto, and between husband and wife. Yoter mikol hodshe hashana, more than any other month in the Jewish calendar. And the question is, as they say in Arabic, fargus. Why you need to make more shalom in the month of Shevat than in the month of Kislev? Although every month we have great things to work on, but it says, She'remez ramzu hakadmonim. Rabbi Chaim Palachi says, because we have a tradition from the early generations that Shevat Rashi Tevot Shalom Beracha Tova. That the month of Shevat, the composition of the word Shevat, and maybe I'm going to write it so those watching live can also see it, and the Kahal can look at the screen and see exactly what I'm going to be talking in the next few moments. So the Rabbi Chaim Palachi writes, look at the screen, beautiful. You see the word Shevat? Shevat. Go back. Shalom. Next, Mehila. I need to look at the screen backwards. Beracha Tova. Shalom. Beracha Tova. For the merit of peace, blessing and goodness comes to the life of the person. But still, this does not answer the question. Why specifically in this month of the Jewish calendar we need to reinforce this particular topic? So in order for me to do that, I need to use the next blackboard, the next whiteboard. Okay, perhaps if you look at this, you may not understand, but this, I make it very quick. These are the 12 months of the Jewish calendar. Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, Av, Elul, Tishrei, Heshvan, Kislev, Tevet, Shevat, Adar. These are the months of the Jewish calendar. We are here today, Rosh Chodesh Shevat. What's so special about this? The Ben Ish Chai quotes the Moed Kol Chai, the Sefer that I'm using now, and discusses a partnership between Yaakov and Esav. And each one of them took upon themselves the leadership and the management of the Hebrew months. We begin with Yaakov Avinu, says the Ben Ish Chai, and Yaakov took the celebration of Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan. Makes sense. Nisan, we have Pesach. Iyar, Lag BaOmer, right? Pesach Sheni. Sivan, Shavuot. So these 3 whole months belongs to Yaakov Avinu. So far, so good. That's why in these 3 months, we don't have any ta'anit. We have no fast days, only happy days. The next 3 months comes Esav, and it says, now is my time. I want a piece of the action. I want a slice of the Jewish calendar. So Esav takes Tammuz and Av. That's why we have on Tammuz, what do we have? The 17th day of Tammuz, fast day. And we have Tisha B'Av. These 3 weeks belong to Esav. Esav also wanted to take the month of Elul, the month of Selichot. Yaakov says, "Stanna shweye. You cannot take the holidays because to expect me to come to Tishrei, which is Rosh Hashanah, Kippur, Sukkot, Simchat Torah, I cannot just come to Rosh Hashanah without 30 days of preparation." And actually, there is a hint in the parasha when Yaakov and Esav meet. The pasuk says, "Ve'ana et nahala leiti leregel Rashi Tevot Elul." In this pasuk that I just quoted, Esav says to Yaakov, "Yaakov, now that you and I were separated for such a long time, why don't we spend time together?" Can you imagine spending vacation with Esav? Obviously not. Recipe for disaster. So what Yaakov Avinu says, Va'ana, and I'm going to use the other whiteboard, Va'ana et nahala leiti leregel. And I will conduct slowly to the speed of the children. Yaakov uses 4 words. Rashi Tevot Elul. Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed, Elul. That Yaakov Avinu took from Esav the month of Elul. Hence the month of Elul was given to Am Israel as Chodesh Rahamim, the month of mercy. So far, so good. So far we covered half of the calendar. Now we're missing another half. So we took care of Elul. So now we have Yaakov has Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, and Elul. So we have 4 Yaakov, 2 Esav. It sounds like a soccer game, right? 4-2. I don't know which team, because I have fans from the Real Madrid, Barcelona, you know, I know, relax. Okay, different teams. So I'd rather not say, I know he's from Boca, I know, so I'd rather not say name of the team so nobody takes it to heart. Let's go now to the second half of the Jewish calendar. So we have again Tishrei, Yaakov, Heshvan, Yaakov, Kislev, Yaakov. So far, so good. That's why we have always good things. All the holidays, quiet time because post-holidays, and Kislev, the celebration of Hanukkah. But the celebration of Hanukkah has a bonus. What is the bonus? That the celebration of Hanukkah is the only holiday in the Jewish calendar that begins at the end of the month. If I write down the dates of the holidays, let's start the Jewish calendar. When Pesach begins? The 15th. When is Shavuot? The 6th. When is, what else we have? We have Rosh Hashanah, the 1st. Kippur, the 10th. Sukkot, the 15th. Purim, the 15th. Tu B'Shvat, the 15th. Hanukkah is the exception. Hanukkah is the only holiday that starts at the end of the month. Usually, from a blessing type of perspective and Kabbalistic types of perspective, the first half of the month is better than the second half of the month. Why? Because of the moon. We have the moon, full moon, half a moon, quarter moon, no moon. The moon starts from 0 till the 15th of the month. By the 15th, 16th of the month, the full moon starts declining. That's the reason why in many Hasidic institutions or traditions, they only get married in the first half of the month, not on the second half. Let's clarify. It doesn't mean that you got married on the second half, your marriage is not valid. God forbid. God forbid. It is valid. But there are those that are more meticulous and they only do things, even moving on the first half of the month. Although halachically there is not a problem whatsoever as long as everything is done properly. Now, the fact that Kislev is starting on the 25th of the month, so how many days are actually Rosh Kislev? How many days is Hanukkah rather? 8 days. So by default, I will penetrate now into the month of Tevet. And that's what the Ben Ish Hai explains, that although the kingdom of Yaakov finished with Rosh Chodesh Tevet, he was able to go into Tevet and take away 2-3 days from Esav. Hence, the day that Hanukkah finishes, what do we have a week later? The Som, the Ta'anit of Asara Betevet. Shevat also belongs to Esav, and Adar belong to Esav up to the day of Purim. Because we cannot forget a very important fact. Although we are still 2.5 months from Purim, this year we have Shana Me'uberet, we have 2 Adars, so we celebrate Purim a month later, towards the end of March, I believe. That's when Purim will be, Be'ezat Hashem. But who initiated the threat of Purim? Haman. Who was Haman? A direct descendant of Esav. So up to this day, Esav, through Haman, had the leadership of the month of Adar. Until Mordechai Sadiq came and he was took away Haman's domain from the month of Adar. So now, if we look at the following statement, you're going to see something fascinating. That actually, in the Jewish calendar, we have Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Elul, Yaakov. So Yaakov Avinu has 4 and Esav has 2. Let's go to the next part. Tammuz, Mehila, Tishrei, Heshban, Kislev, Yaakov 3. Tevet, Shevat, Esav 2 and Yaakov 1. So the end result is 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 1, 8. So Yaakov Avinu, Kabbalistically speaking, has the upper hands 8 months through the Jewish calendar, and Esav has the upper hand 4 months of the Jewish calendar. But as the Ben Ish Hai says, that even the 4 months of Esav are not really 4 months. Why not? Number 1, Tammuz and Av, how long are they problematic for the Jewish people? How many days or how many weeks in the month of Tammuz and Av are problematic for Am Yisrael? The 3 weeks, correct? Ben HaMesarim. How many days are 3 weeks? 21. So out of 60 days, 21s are under the domain of Esav, and 39 are under domain of Yaakov. Do you understand? I did it upside down. But that's basically what the Ben Ish Hai says. That even from the 60 days, 39 days are belonging to Yaakov Avinu. What's so special about the number 39. If you were here yesterday, I spoke about it in the main shul. We mentioned how in our tefillah, many times we have the topic of numbers. And we mentioned that there are 3 numbers in the prayer that they are all connected. Number 1, the 13 attributes of mercy. Number 2, the 13 words of Ishtabah. And number 3, the 13 rules of Rabbi Ishmael. Baya'avor, Shir Ushbaha in Shaharit, and Rabbi Ishmael Omer, etc. And what is the magic number? 39. And what 39 actually represents? 39 represents several things, the Ben Ish Hai says. At least 4 things that we can talk about the magic number 39. So I repeat again quickly. Baya'avor, that we did not say today because it's Rosh Chodesh. Shir Ushbaha, that we say every day of our life. Rabbi Ishmael Omer, this is the Baraita before Kaddish Al Israel, before Hodu, in the part of the prayer Korbanot. It gives me the magic number 39. Now what is the magic number 39? You can take care of the erasing. I'll continue with the writing. So in our Torah, thank you, I think ready for retirement.
Yes.
In our Torah, the number 39 is not a simple number. The Ben Ish Hai says that when it comes to the sisit, there are 2 opinions of how to do the sisit. 26 or 39. What's the difference in the sisiot? If you do 39, you do 7, 8, 11, 13. If you do 26, you do 10, 5, 6, 5. That equals 26, Hashem's name. 39 means Hashem is one. Hashem Echad. If you add the 26 of Hashem's name plus 13, which is the word Echad, Hashem is one, equals 39. That is the first 39 that we should be familiar with. Hashem Echad. God is one. Next. 39. The beracha that Yaakov Avinu received from Ishak. Ve'iten lecha ha'elokim mital hashamayim. May God bless you. Tal. Tal in English means do. In Spanish means rocio. Numerical value in Hebrew, 39. Thank you. Okay, Professor? You have it good for our video audience? Good?
Okay.
Clear? That's the magic number 39. So the number 39 is a number that represents a tremendous amount of heavenly blessing. But, there is always a but. I need another one today. We have 2 more instances that the number 39 is found. I start with the unhappy one. There is a type of consequence in the Torah called Malkut. Malkut. What is Malkut? Lashes. In the time of the Beit HaMikdash, after a person was warned of not committing certain negative commandment, and depends on the severity of the commandment, what kind of consequence the person will experience. The most amount of lashes that a person was able to receive by the formula 39. But in reality, the consequence was given according to the power of the person. If the person was weaker, they will do less. If the person was stronger, they can do closer to 39. This topic that I'm talking about is not a simple topic to discuss, but there is a whole tractate in the Talmud called Gemara Makot. That Gemara discusses about this topic. But I'm only for shiur purposes. They are 39 Malkuyot. That's why many people on Erev Kippur, right? they give malkut. What they do? They malkut, right? Of course, I do it every year. It's in the mahzor. But it's symbolic. It's symbolic. Malkut means taking the belt, and then you say, Behu, Rahum, Yechaper, Avon, Belo, Yashid. You do it 3 times. This is a symbolic action. So in the event that a person may have committed certain transgressions, and Malkut would have been the punishment in the time of the Bet HaMikdash, so the symbolic act is considered like if I already pay the consequence. Don't try this at home, please. Don't get ideas. And I know that to some people may sound strange, but today it's not the topic. But there is another concept of 39. So we said 39 is the malkut. In English means lashes. In Spanish is látigo. Now, then you have 39 melachot of Shabbat, the 39 forbidden labors on the day of Shabbat. What's the common denominator among everything that I said for the past few minutes? The 39. The 39 days that Yaakov Avinu has on his domain from the month of Tammuz and the month of Av. Next. So we have Tammuz, Av. I'm going to do it again. Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, Av, Elul, Tishrei, Heshvan, Kislev, Tevet, Shevat, Adar. So comes the Ben Ish Chai and it says, Tammuz, Mehila with Tet. Tevet is with Tet. The first one is Tet, not Taf. Sorry. The Ben Ish Chai says, Tammuz is the clone of Tevet, and Av is the clone of Shevat. Now if you look, please look at me. What do we have here? Rashi Tevot, Av, Shevat, Rashi Tevot, Esh, fire. The fire of Mahloket or the fire of Torah? Which one do we want it to be? Hazaku Baruch. You gave the good answer. I didn't expect less from you. And if you didn't have that answer, I would have not been a happy rabbi. So you saved the day. Hazaku Baruch. So comes Rabbi Chaim Palachi says, you know how do we destroy the fire of Mahloket? The Esh, he says, Hevevoreach mina Mahloket kevoreach mina Esh. A person is to run away from Mahloket like we ran away from fire. So you know how we do it? It says, Shalom. Diotohev Shalom, Berodev Shalom, Yoter Mikol Choche Hashana. More than any other month of the Jewish calendar. Why? Because this is the weapon of mass destruction to remove once and for all the power of Esav. That Esav, he doesn't need to dress himself up like a terrorist or like an Arab or like an anti-Semite. Esav is among us. Esav could be another Yehudi. Has v'shalom to say that. But a person that is a Baal Mahloket, a person who always argues and never wants to give in, to give somebody to say, okay, you know what, you're right, and a person who always wants to have the final word, this is Esav in 2 legs, with a kippah and a beard and sisit. Yes, sir, I'm not kidding you. Ba'alei Mahloket knows no boundaries, knows no gender. Like in marriage, it's her fault, it's his fault. It takes 2 to tango, Rabotai. And if you don't know what that means, doesn't matter. Take my word for it. There needs to be acceptance, needs to be humility, it needs to be the willingness to forgive and forget and to compromise for the sake of peace. And what is the benefit of peace? Beracha. Who doesn't want beracha? Is there someone who does not want beracha? The Torah. Chodesh Tov to all those watching. Chodesh Tov to all those watching. Who doesn't want beracha? The first word of the Torah is what? Bereshit bara Elokim. Right away on this pasuk of Bereshit bara Elokim, there is a whole lecture that I gave a few years back, that before the world was created, the letters of the world were arguing with God. Who should be the first letter of the Sefer Torah? I'm not going to give you the full version, but I'm going to give you the 2-minute version, like a trailer. You know what a trailer means? They show you a 2-minute trailer. Hamavdil. I'm going to give you a 2-minute reality check. Preview. Every word justifies why they should be the one to be the first letter of the Sefer Torah. It's a great merit. And I know, we know that, Hacham. Thank you. We know that. Everybody knows. Beautiful. Bereshit. But why? Why not Aleph? Short answer. God says, the bet of Bereshit represents the word Beracha. But the Aleph is the word Arur. Beracha means a blessing. And Arur means a curse. God forbid. And God says, the Torah is Beracha only. Another explanation, that the letter Bet goes one direction, forward. And the letter Aleph, up, down, front, back. This is a lesson that when it comes to the creation of the world and what happened prior to the creation of the world, we should not go back, because can shake the foundation of emunah of a Yehudi. That's why we begin with the bed. You see, you want to go back, you're not allowed to. There is a wall here. You want to go down, you are blocked. You want to go up, you are blocked. You can only go one direction, forward. And that's the reason why the Torah begins with the bed of Beracha, blessing or bendición. And we don't start the Torah with Aleph, which stands for Arur, curse, God forbid. What is the final letter of the Sefer Torah? The word is Israel. So the Lamed. Now I have the Lamed of Israel and the Lev of Bereshit. What do I have? Lev. God looks for the heart. As the Gemara writes, Rahamana liba ba'e. God looks for the heart, for the feeling, for the emotion, for the action, for the effort, for the willingness. Not so much the quantity, but actually the quality of the goodness that a person does. I can continue with your permission, but we need to get ready for the next class in a few minutes for ladies. And I think that we covered the beautiful, beautiful introduction of the one and only Rabbi Haim Palachi. So go ahead, celebrate Rosh Chodesh Shevat, Haba Aleinu L'Tova. Let it be the zechut of Aharon HaKohen, the zechut of Yosef HaSadik, Be'ezat Hashem. Bring us shalom, beracha tova, and Be'ezat Hashem, we should have the zechut of the ultimate Yeshua, B'mera B'yamenu. Amen. Baruch Adonai Le'olam.